Hello everybody. So, welcome back to the Homestead and welcome to an episode of Let's Build a Garage Shelf. Now, in this episode I'm going to do some timey-wimey things because the shelf is built, has been built for a week and a half, but I haven't cut the video together, and I realized as I was trying to do that I didn't have a video showing you the plan of this. So right now I'm going to film the plan that I drew up or to build the shelf, and then you guys can see that, and then I'm cutting over to how we were actually building the shelf. But let's start with the plans. So here we are with the plans. As you can see, I drew this all up nicely. These are the plans for the shelf. This is some of the property and what I have in mind for that, but that's a different story, and I'm happy to share that in another video if you're interested. So let me see if I can hold the camera. Yep, I can. The shelf. The idea of the shelf was originally to have 5 layers where we can stock things on, and to have the bottom layer wider, 60 centimeters or 2 feet, 40 centimeters, a foot and a third, 30 centimeters, 1 foot, and 40 centimeters, a foot and a third. Now, we ended up discussing this as we were building it, and this spacing has changed, so they are all evenly spaced now in the garage. We just realized that this, the idea was to store bigger things on the bottom, blah, 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 but in the end, it turned out that we don't really need that. We were measuring some of the things that we wanted to store there, and it was just unnecessary. The whole thing is 170 high, and it's 2 meters 50. 170 is like just shy of 6 foot, and I'm saying just shy of 6 foot, it's like 5 or something like that, and it is 2 meters and 50 wide, so that is 8 foot and change. Now that's the length of the boards, right? I'm using one entire board, the length of the shelf. The thing is that I got my wood, and you saw the wood in the previous video. I got this from the sawmill. This is fresh wood. This is more or less cut in the same manner, but this is not to the millimeter. So it's kind of, everything is just, as one of the boards might be slightly off, or it has an angle, or not everything is in rectangles. It's just wonky. What I wanted to use as the feet, the beams, so to say, is 5 centimeters by 7 centimeters. As I was looking at them, I realized, man, this is just too thick. This is just too much. So we sliced them in half, and now they are 5 centimeters by 3.5 centimeters. Anyway, so the idea of the shelf is we have 4 frames that we put in there so that the boards have enough support over the length of the shelf. The feet, the beams, are going to be on the outside, and the boards are going to be layered on the inside, so this is what it will look from a top-down view. Now, I marked where the screws go as I was counting how many screws I need. And the thing is that, you see, I will be putting 3 screws in each board everywhere there is a beam underneath. The reason being, this is fresh wood, and fresh wood warps as it dries. So to prevent as much warping as possible, we will be putting 3 screws in there. The distance between each frame is going to be roughly 80 centimeters, 80 some odd, 82 centimeters or something like that. I believe in the end what we actually did was we spaced this one 80 centimeters and we spaced this one 80 centimeters and just left the middle a little bit bigger at like 87 or 88 centimeters, because we didn't actually get 2 meters 50 out of it because some of the boards were just too uneven. But yeah, so this is the plan. Down here I kind of like did some mathing of like how many of those beams I need, how many of the boards I need, etc., etc. But in the end did some calculation on how much that's going to cost us roughly. In the end, it was about 150 euros or something like that for a shelf that is 2 meters 50 wide and 51 or 52 centimeters deep. and 170 high, as I said. So the thing is that there's one other thing that you can't really see from here, and I didn't draw that on. I put on 2 layers, I believe it was this layer and this one, I put one shelf. Basically, if you see this, right, 3-dimensionally, I put one board right there. So in this direction, 90-degree angle. 1, so that nothing falls behind the shelf, but 2, to also provide some side stability, so this whole thing won't at some point like lean over in this direction or in this direction and kind of tilt. Now this was all the blah blah and the theory. Let's get into building a shelf. What you're doing. I don't like that. It works for me.
Apparently I have a good idea when I don't know. No, I have
when you don't have an idea, you have a good idea. I'm gonna need my little book. I'll be right back.
So we got this pile of wood that is really kind of freshly cut wood from the sawmill. Very wonky, wrong sizes, all kind of a little bit hit and miss, with the ends all shapes and evenness. And we just made a pile of this beauty. The boards, supports for our shelving. And we made all these beautiful ends that are, in theory, perfectly straight. You take the screw, you take the drill.
Very good, very good.
Fit the screw inside the hole.
There's too much shadow. Put the light on the machine. If you press it ever so lightly. Yeah.
Whoa!
Let me show the screw how it is perfectly. Wow!
Wow!